Hello, and welcome back to another video. This week is part 1 of 2 of some videos, kind of tutorial-like, that will help go a little more in-depth into my entire drawing process from start to finish. And today will be just the sketching and line art of a drawing of my OC, or original character, named Scarlet. So step 1 of part 1 is the rough sketch. This step I do in my red Kohl Erase pencil, and I'll talk a little bit about that a little later. The purpose of this part is just to get the general shape of the drawing with all the guidelines down. Most of the time, if I'm doing a new pose, I look up reference images to help get the shape down, and this can vary from anything to just like hands or a head shape or the entire body, which I kind of looked up. The image that you see on my phone that I'm using really just kind of came from a quick Google search of like anime body poses and stuff like that. It's really helpful just to get the, just to learn to draw new things, and a lot of artists use it all the time, including myself, obviously. And now this step in my sketching process usually takes the longest time, especially if I need to go back and revise multiple parts of the drawing over and over again. For this video, I knew exactly, once I found that reference image, I knew, okay, exactly, I want to draw this character in this position, but that doesn't really always happen when I'm actually drawing. Quickly back to the pencil that I'm using. I use it to help the next step show up, and it's also still an erasable pencil, which is very helpful. And so that helps the refined sketch show up, which is step 2. The pencil I use for this is, I think it's called like Prismacolor Ebony Jet Black, extra smooth, really fancy. I see this pencil come packaged a lot with like other little Prismacolor drawing pencil sets. I like it for this because it's a really nice dark lead and very smooth too. In this step, I basically go over all the important lines of the sketch so I can see them better in step 3, which is the line art. Most of my drawings, not typically the ones in the videos though, I trace the line art onto my final paper, like I do the sketch on light sketching paper and the line art on like a thicker Bristol board or mixed media paper, and I do that using a light box. The one that I have, I think it's called like a Portatrace, and it's the only one, or the first one that I've ever owned, and I like it. I like using these because there's really no pencil marks that end up on my final paper that I need to erase, so I can go crazy with whatever sketch. And what type of pen I use for the line art really depends on what kind of drawing I'm doing. If I'm doing a marker drawing, I'll use a Copic multiliner, which does not smear at all with markers. Or let's say if I'm doing a watercolor, I can't use colored pens since all of my colored pens are not waterproof. For this one, I actually ended up using a black scrapbooking pen that I have. Usually for this, I'll use like a micron fine liner, but my 0.5 fine liner ran out of ink, and I actually found this pen to be a satisfying substitute. Then finally, step 4 is where I finish the basic line art, and I very quickly add some more details to it, and this usually includes like bolding the outline and thickening the certain areas of the lines. And that's it for the sketching and line art. Stay tuned next week for the total kind of coloring process and finishing all those, putting all the finishing touches on there, sorry. And like always, likes, comments, and subscribes are always appreciated. Leave a suggestion for a future video down below, and I will see you next week.